guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So in case you haven't realized, I am not in my craft room. Based on last week's video, don't get it twisted. Like, I did not plan on burning down. I didn't burn anything. I didn't burn anything down. So but I am out in Arizona, so I am getting a new craft room delivered pretty soon, and I'm going to walk you guys through that whole process, probably if not next week, then the week after. But today I want to do something fun here in my makeshift craft room here in Arizona. I am actually in my fifth wheel, and yeah, I just basically just put some stuff together to make something happen. So let's just see how that goes. Basically what I did was today I was working on creating like a little mini journal, something that I can use either out here or wherever when I'm traveling. It's like a little mini travel journal. And what I did was I took this is a what is this? This is a piece of wooden, I don't know. It's shaped like a mason jar. Okay, let's just go with that. So we established that it's a mason jar, and that's what I'm going to use to create these guys. So this is some chipboard on the back, some green cardstock on the front, and basically all I did was I laid the mason jar on top of it and traced out what I wanted to make, and that's going to create the front and back covers of the little mini journal that I'm making. I don't know why I'm obsessed with mason jars, but this I got at the Dollar Tree many moons ago. I don't know if it's still available. If you can find it, great. If not, oh well. But you can probably get a die in the shape of a mason jar to create something similar. So that's what I used to make these little guys, and these are just my front and back covers of the mason jar journal. And then I will have to, let me just explain to you what I'm going to have to do. I am going to have to make continuous paper to go into this journal in the shape of this mason jar. So that's a half ton of fussy cutting that I'm gonna have to do to several sheets of paper. Alright, so that's gonna be a whole thing in itself, but I just wanted to play around with the mason jar shape and make these little front and back covers. What I'll eventually end up doing is gluing this down to this. Alright, this is the cardstock glued down to the chipboard, just like I did on this one. And yeah, this one is a little messy, and I'll tell you why. Alright, I mean, if you look at that, that's messy. So what I put on some lotion on my hands. Here I am in Arizona, and everything is like super dry. It's like crusty dry. It's so humidity deficient, which is comparison to Florida where everything is like humidity based. And because it was so dry out here, I put some lotion on my hands and rubbed it in real good. Thought I was good to go, but this is what happens when you have a lotion on your hands here in Arizona. So you will end up with some crazy scenarios where it'll end up on your paper. So I'm okay with that, because what I'll do on this cover, or the back cover, it doesn't matter, like this will be my back, this will be my front, and or front and back. So what I'll end up doing is probably collaging something really cool on here, filling out the mason jar lid and creating some sort of mason jar background so that it makes it look like it is a jar, as it should, right? So I'll do maybe some either some marker at the top here or some paint at the top here to make it look like an actual jar that you unscrew, and then I will continue to fill in the bottom or collage the entire thing, and no one will know that this has been ruined by some greasy hands filled with lotion. Alright, so that's what I've been working on. here. And the other thing that I've been doing is basically working on these little guys. I don't know if you guys remember from last year, I did a bunch of these bookmarks, and I got them at the dollar store. I went ahead and did the diamond dots fill-in. So this is what it looks like. It's filled with diamond dots on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to try to get you guys close enough so that you can see. And if you don't remember, I will try to find the video and put it right up here for y'all. Alright, so this is basically just some bookmarks that you can hang over the side of your books. And guess what I did, guys? I brought my journal that I've been working in. Here is this. This is the journal that I've created so many cool pages in here already. And this is a beautiful, I mean, I saw this in the dollar store. I was like, yep, you're coming home with me, because why? You match my book so well. So this is just a little bookmark that I can just hang over the side right here. And yeah, I completed this little guy right there. So alright, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? I can do some junk journaling. I can journal here in this journal. I can show you guys how I finish this up, right? Like, I can do that. But I don't know. I think I went to Savers, which is like my favorite thrift store ever. It's better than Goodwill, only because Goodwill is a 501c3. So they are a non-profit affiliated national government affiliated non-profit. So why are they charging tax, right? So why are they charging you so much for general products that you purchase at the store? And their prices to me have gone up. Like, people don't drive hours and hours to get to their closest Goodwill, and there's no gas affiliated with the gas prices that have gone up. So why is Goodwill raising their prices? And that just really throws me for a loop, because they don't export. They sell directly to the local public. So why are their prices going up? And that's why I decided that I'm not going to shop at Goodwill as often as I have in the past. And even when I have gone there and I was like, no. Your prices are too high for a 501c3. So you don't pay government taxes. You don't pay taxes. Why are you charging me tax as I check out? On my receipt, there's taxes on there, and there's no transport, import, export of any kind in your line of business. So what I decided to do was not shop at Goodwill for the time being, until they realize that they're losing out. And I will eventually probably go back when they are a better distributor of supplies, of Goodwill supplies, of things that people donated to you on the whim, and you're not paying any taxes on any of that stuff. So basically, I went to Savers, and Savers supports the Boys and Girls Club and the various things that are like, supported locally. So if there's a Boys and Girls Club or a Big Brother, Big Sister establishment in your area, Savers supports those types of programs, and I am all for that. I would rather support Savers, who does charge taxes at the register, but only because they are not a 501c3, and they don't reap the benefits of any of it. Anyway, that being said, what I did this week, or last week, I went to Savers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, of all places. And let me just tell you a funny story about that whole situation. So I went to Savers in Albuquerque, New Mexico. As I was driving across country from Florida to Arizona, stopped off in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and knew there was a Savers nearby, so I just, Googled mapped them, And that was fun. So I got there. I've been to that one before. I walked into the front door. I had some trash in my hand along with the keys to my van. And my van being my RV, okay? I threw everything into the trash. Like, just into the trash. It's gone. Didn't even notice that I did not have my keys anymore. So I went shopping at Savers for over an hour. This was at 7:30 or 6:30, and they close at 8. And I'm in there for an hour just like fumbling through stuff. Get back to my RV and I'm like, what? Where are my keys? What's going on? Where do I begin? Like, where are my keys? I'm fumbling through my purse, fumbling through everything that I own. I'm like, even the stuff that I bought, which they don't provide bags. So I'm like, what did I do? It's like a Home Alone moment where you just grab your face and you're like, where are my keys? Luckily, my brain is still intact and my mind is still fluid, and I retraced my steps and I'm like, all right, I had my keys before I went in and I don't have them when I'm leaving. And I knew I threw some stuff in the trash. So I went back to the Savers as they're closed, knocked on the door, like, hello, security guard, let me in, please. I think, you know, he was just like, what do you want? Why are you here? What are you doing? And I'm like, I think I left my keys inside. I think I threw my keys in the trash. And when I went into the trash, sure enough, there it was, sitting like right on top of all their other trash. And yeah, I got my keys back. Found my keys. Really simple. I mean, that could be a life-changing moment where you throw away your keys, they take out their garbage for the night, you'll never see your keys again. Like, that's how that could have gone. But luckily, I found my keys and was able to leave Albuquerque, New Mexico safely onto my journey to Arizona. So, you know, that's a little story for you. Just be aware. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought like throwing away my trash and my keys at the same time was a thing. And just be aware of what you're doing. All right. So anyway, at this location at Savers in Albuquerque, I'm gonna go grab the not many things that I bought, but mostly books, because I don't need anything else, but I can totally use the pages from books to create beautiful things with my junk journal stuff. So I'm gonna go grab my Savers order, and I will just show you guys everything that I got. And yeah, I'll be back in 2 ticks. So the first thing that I picked up at Savers was this little 2-hole punch. This is an old school device. I know some of you are probably like, what is that? This is a 2-hole punch puncher, basically, and you find a lot of these at doctor's offices because they use the little 2-prong things that come up, and they punch all your pages 2 holes, and then they put it onto this 2-prong little thing that comes up. It's kind of like a brad, or is it a brad? Yeah, it's kind of like a brad, but it's facing upwards. So there's 2 little prongs that sit up, and they punch your doctor's paperwork through this, and then they sit it onto this 2-hole. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, none of it matters. This is like 1990s, early 2000s info that I'm giving you right here that you probably don't even need. Okay, so like, let's just skip it. So I was thinking about how am I going to fill in my art journal, which is, oh, where is it? It's right here. So here's my art journal, right? Remember I made this? So this is the front, and I was like, oh, how am I going to put these pages into the cover? So I was like, oh, I can 2-hole punch it. This way when I'm done with it, I can just pull off those pages. It doesn't affect the artwork that I put in here. And yeah, I can just 2-hole punch the whole thing, put the pages on top of, the holes, and then run a brad through it, and the whole shebang. Okay, that's what I was thinking when I purchased this. Okay, I got this at Savers. The other 2-hole punches that were in that collection of punches, like there was a 3-hole punch, a 2-hole punch, there was like maybe 10 of these, and this was the only one that was $1.99. All the others were $2.99, and I'm like, someone is sleeping on their job, because I'm gonna grab this one for $1.99. all right, and basically when you punch your holes through the pages, they come through on the side over here, and you just pull this out and dump it in the trash. Right, it's kind of like a 3-hole punch. So I know some of you are probably like, I don't ever 3-hole punch. What are you talking about? My holes come pre-punched. But immeasurable. And I thought I had one of these before. Here's the thing. I was sitting in my craft room back in Florida, and I'm like, I think I have one of these. Where is it? I don't know. Not only that, I think I also have the little strip of green folder stuff that they use at the doctor's office, with the 2 prongs that come up, and you just peel off the double-sided tape and you stick it down to a folder, and those 2 prongs are sticking up and all your paperwork goes on it. Where is it? I don't know. I had a collection of those little green things that you stick. Anyway, long story short, I don't know where it's at. I don't know, but I bought this to make my life a little bit easier while I'm out here out west, because in Florida things are everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's move on to what I purchased again at the Savers store. These are just 2 little cute little journals. So I thought this was so cute. Like, I was like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna do elastic closure on my journals, the idea of having this not bend your page by just putting that little notch in there, genius. So these are $1.99. Again, at Savers, if you shop on a Monday, you save 50%. So these are basically $1 a piece. So here we go. These are 2 of the journals that I picked up, and one's pink, one's blue. This one has checkered lines in here, so this is like a grid paper in here, and this one is, these are straight lines across, right? So good for you for if you find something like this at your local Savers or at your local store, because sometimes you want to write in grid. Sometimes you want to write with the grid, and sometimes you want to, write in your journal with the straight lines. Both were $1.99 a piece, and I paid 99 cents because they are half off on a Monday. Let's talk about this. This is the most unique thing that I found at second most unique thing that I found at a Savers. This is like some Norman Rockwell imagery. Okay, this is what Norman Rockwell is famous for. I found some things that he's done in the past at Savers or at Goodwill, and it's basically like some old school nostalgic imagery of years gone by. Okay, this is probably the 1800s to early 1900s, and again it says those wonderful school years memory album. All right, so when I flipped it open, at first I was like, nah, I don't care. Like, the cover, I could probably photocopy this 1,000 times and put it on Etsy, and you guys can download it and use it. But when I went in here and I was like, OMG, this is so cool. This is like from the time your child enters kindergarten all the way through to high school. Unused. Okay, this is an unused memory years, like a memory book, basically. So you can fill this all in if you want, with your child's experience all the way through 12th grade. Back here there's medical records. Like, I mean, this is just so cool. So this has been produced by a company called FR Marketing Company. So it's boutiques, gifts, and fundraising, office showroom, blah blah blah, Calhoun Road, Brookfield, Wisconsin. And I was just like, this is incredible. Regardless of any of the imagery that's in here, the cover alone made me want this so bad. So I bought this $179, again half off, under $1. So that's going into my stash. This is a recycle acid-free archival safe, and it's unopened, and I didn't even open it, right? So it's still wrapped in its cellophane or whatever, shrink wrapped. So I have no idea what's inside this book. It's listed at $2.99 right there. So $3. I paid $1.50 for it. Let's just see what's in here. All right, so this is what's in here. It says 60-page book, premium quality paper stock for photos, for photo mounting and journaling. Wow. All right, rounded corners to prevent wear, memory book that are made for a lifetime, matching back and front covers provide the perfect craft surface. So basically you can, you know, collage something on here and on here, you know, front and back is all the same. And this is just plain old cardstock paper in here. It says premium quality paper stock, but this is like cardstock. This is some extremely good paper. Brand new in the packaging. $2.99, $1.50 at my cost, you know, because of Mondays at Savers. So there's that. I mean, this reminds me of those what is it? The gosh, what is it called? It's like, you know, you get somebody's autograph at Disney. You go through a little book like this and Mickey Mouse signs it, and then you go to the next page and Minnie Mouse signs. It's like a big old autograph book that you would get at a theme park or something like that. All right, so here's this book. I saw this and I was like, yep, this is coming home, because let's talk about this. This book has been it has been published in 1959. all right, so here, I'll just show you guys. I'm not making that up, if it'll ever focus. 1959 by Carl Underuber, Druck, and Verlag, Vienna, Austria. Alright, this is called The Big Book to Grow On. Here's the thing about Savers. You buy, I think it's 4 books and you get the 5th one free, or buy 5 books and get the 6th one free. Either way, it doesn't matter. Basically, you buy a number of books and you get one free. So this is a huge fun book for me to use in my junk journaling, and I was just like, yes, like this is like partial script, like an old school script that you would use. Like when, here's the thing, children nowadays do not know how to write in script. They don't know how to read script. They don't know how to do a lot of things that we grew up knowing how to do, and that's what's in this book. It's like a very simplistic script writing in here. There's also some print writing in here as well, but I saw this book and I was like, yeah, for sure, this'll make great junk journal pages. It's from 1959, which is older than me, but for $4.99, half off, okay, $2.50, and you buy 4, you get 1 free. I was like, yeah, the big book to grow on is coming home. All right, so that's what's in here. There's a lot of print in here, so don't be afraid if you see something like this that, you know, you bring it into your craft room and it doesn't make any sense because it's all in script. There's a lot of print in here, but there's also a lot of this cool imagery, this illustration that was done by someone. And yeah, I would totally include this in my junk journal and crafting, so I will put that up there. I also grabbed, alright, let me grab two of these. I think both of these are music books. This says Christmas Carols, book number 1108-15. This was $1.99 and this one was $1.49. So let's just see when it was published, because the caramelization of these pages really decides like how old it is. Oh, it's in Roman numerals. That's how cool they are. All right, I'm not gonna try to figure out what year this was published. It's like XCM XXXV 111X MC. I mean, yeah, this was published a long time ago. All right, in Roman numerals. They don't even want you to know when it was published. They want you to figure it out. But the caramelization of these pages, I was just like totally coming home with me. So yeah, there's several music pages in here in addition to like really cool artwork. So yeah, I picked this up for $1.99, and so yeah, $1. All right, and then there's this one. This is 1000 Fiddle Tunes. I really didn't care what instrument that this was geared towards. Illustrated in Chicago, Illinois, by the Cole Publishing Company. Let's see if I can get a date on here for you. Nope. Maybe. Oh, 1940. There we go. 1940. Copyright 1940 by the Cole Publishing Company. It was original price at $2.50. It's now $1.49. Okay, so 75 cents for me. And look at the quality of the pages in here. Like, this is like full page music paper, double-sided, right? So I can just tear out one of these, right, and put it into a junk journal. For some reason it has like a sheen to this paper, which I wasn't expecting, but I love it. And I guess in 1940s, unheard of, right? But they knew that that's what's going to make this book last that much longer. So yeah, I can totally take something like this and rip it straight across here and totally put this into a junk journal. Like, I'm so excited about this book. I'm so excited. And as a fiddler, there's like 12 songs on here. So the fiddler only comes in at a certain time. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs on a page, because, you know, as a book for fiddlers, they don't come in all day, the whole song through. So all right, anyway, 75 cents did that. And then there's this book. This is a book that I found at Savers, 1, but 2, I was looking at purchasing it at on Amazon. So this is an older copyright of the book. As you can see here, someone purchased it in 1997, December 1997, and probably gave it to someone that they knew. It was originally published in, let's see, 1995, so not too far along after they gave it away to someone else. Anyway, right now there's a version of this book for 2026, and same title. If you go on Amazon right now, you will find this exact same book for probably 26, 30 bucks, okay? Somewhere on there, you will find this exact same book in current day, current pricing, 30 bucks. I paid, oh, I tore it off. I probably paid like $3 or $4 for this, because I don't think I would have paid more than that. So yeah, I removed the label early on. I don't know why, but that happened. But anyway, I was totally looking for this book. I've looked at it on Amazon, again, 30 bucks. I looked for it on Temu. It was somewhere around 22 bucks, and I was like, I'm not trying to pay that much for it, but I probably paid like no more than $3 or $4 for it. So this is the book that it promotes holistic approach to health and longevity. Please look it up if you're interested in pursuing that, but it's filled with tons of information. So this is not one of the books that I'll be removing pages from to put into my junk journal, but this is definitely a book that I will be using in my holistic healthcare, life care, basically. Alright, let's finish this up. Alright, so this is a country paint book. I found this is by Country Living, and this is just, it's a nostalgic book. Okay, so I live out in Arizona. I'm trying to stay true to the environment that I'm in, where things are just like, you know, older, not as what do you call, modernized. All right, so I can live in an old farmhouse type of building, and that's why I grabbed this to just basically stir up some inspiration for me. Okay, so that's why I grabbed this book, because I will be living in like an older home. It's not a modern home. It's something that I'm going to be building on my own. So yeah, that's all this is. Enough of that. Let's move on to the piece de resistance. This is the book that I found at Savers for $9.99. Okay, I know it's torn, but it was listed at $9.99, oh, $9.49 basically. So I paid $4.25 for this book. Okay, and basically it's called New York Times Page 1. All right, not knowing what to expect from that, I just was like, okay, let's figure it out. Opened it up and was like totally blown away. Major events 1920s to 1987 as present in the New York Times. These are all first page or front page editions of the New York Times. All right, 1920 to 1929. It's all categorized based on, you know, different you know, there's a table of contents in here. There's a letter from the editor. Okay, so a bunch of stuff. All right, 1920s. We got Senator Warren G. Harding. I mean, people that you never even thought of. All right, part of our history. It's part of the American history of the United States of America. The New York Times has been in publication for that long. We got Governor Calvin Coolidge. All right, these are people who became presidents. Just Britain and Japan accept naval plans amid cheers. Far East in issue up today. Japan wants Manchuria, open lodge, major. I mean, there's like all kinds of like information. This is a readable copy of the front page of the New York Times. Growing up in New York, of course I wasn't around in the 20s, but the New York Times is a staple in New York, actually across the world. Like, people will receive the New York Times. And the thing about this is that it's dated, right? So Wednesday, September 5th, 1923. All these front pages are dated August 3rd, 1923. So basically, moving on to, oh, who's this? Gene Tooney, the new champion of whatever sport, probably football, whatever, maybe boxer. You know, he made the front cover of the New York Times. All right, let's go to the back. Something that you guys may remember. Soviet orbits man and recovers him. Space pioneer reports, I feel well. Sent message from while circling the Earth. April 12th, 1961. Alright, this is what I'm talking about, like things that we lived through or our parents have lived through and we would have never have thought about otherwise. But this will make great junk journaling ephemera. And what I would probably do, cut these pages out and put it on my Etsy so that everyone can have access to this stuff. You know, Ford sworn in as president asserts nightmare is over after Kennedy has been assassinated. So, you know, and then after that, Nixon goes into office and becomes the president, starts a war in Vietnam, and that all goes on. So, yeah, all of this is like stuff from the 1920s to I think 80s, 86, 87. But yeah, who wouldn't want to have a piece of this nostalgia in their stash? So yeah, I will probably be doing that. Alright guys, I am going to leave you right here simply because I'm covered in New York Times newspaper print. This is what happens when you open up the New York Times. Your fingers are covered in goo, or any old book basically. Alright, I'm gonna leave you guys right here. I hope you guys have a super crafty day. This was just my little savers haul, and yeah, hopefully soon I will probably be doing one of these. Don't want to get it too messed up with my cruddy newspaper print fingers, but I'm gonna do a junk journal shaped like a mason jar. All right, and I'm also gonna probably be doing a few of these bookmarks that I got at the dollar store. This is just diamond dot prints, and we could probably do one or two of those together in the future. But next week I think I have a big announcement. I think I have a huge announcement next week, and it probably won't be, maybe I'll go live. I don't know, maybe I'll do a live. I haven't done a live ever, but maybe I'll do a live next week. Alright, anyway, alright, I gotta go guys. Have a super crafty day. Go do something wonderful. Stay naturally curious. Check out my links down below. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.